Hi everyone, it's Dr. Elizabeth. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So today we're talking about food cravings and food addictions. And there's a lot to say on this subject, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's go.
Hello my beloveds, how are you? Welcome back. I'm so happy to be here with you. We are going to dive right into this video because it's a really big subject we're talking about today. I'm getting myself ready. So I want to go ahead and dive right into it. So welcome my beloveds. I'm so glad you guys are here. As you guys saw in the title, is how to stop food cravings. And we're also going to touch on the subject of food addictions as well. This is a huge topic, way more than we can cover just in this small little video, but I want to introduce this topic here on my channel because so many of you DM me on Instagram saying, Dr. Elizabeth, I really struggle with food cravings and food addictions. I don't know what to do. I'm really struggling with this. So this is a topic I wanted to address. We will do more in the future, I promise, but I at least want to get the conversation going. First of all, let's just start by saying food cravings and food addictions is more than just a physical challenge. What I believe and what I have learned in working with my clients, I work with clients all around the world. I'm teaching them how to live a healthy lifestyle. Anytime there's a challenge or a disease in the physical body, it always has an emotional and a mental component. When we can clear that emotional and mental component, the physical body heals. That's such a powerful awareness to have because a lot of times we're dealing with emotional and mental challenges that lay in the subconscious. Our conscious mind is about 5% of our brain. The subconscious is about 95%. When we can get in there and clear emotionally old thought patterns, old behaviors, old wounds that we have had, a lot of them since we were children. When we can clear that old energy out, the physical body heals. I've seen it time and time again with food cravings, food addictions, and other challenges in our physical body. That's a big topic, but I wanted to presence it just so that you're aware of it. Because a lot of you, when you DM me, I'll say, okay, let's go ahead and look at the emotional aspects going on. And a lot of you are like, no, I'm cool. That's because on the conscious level, we're like, no, everything's good. But what's happening and what derails us is what's in the subconscious. That's why we have to get in there and clear that. When we clear that, now we can really heal the body. The other thing I want to presence before we get into the 5 tips and techniques, I want to address the topic of perfectionism. Perfectionism goes hand in hand with food cravings and especially food addictions. When we can infuse self-love, compassion, and patience for ourselves as we move through this journey, let go of perfectionism, it's going to go a long way towards healing. Boom. Okay, a lot more to be said, but for now I think that's good. So let's go ahead and dive right into tip number 1, which is, of course, we have our trusty little butterfly. As you guys know, Butterflies for Transformation. On this channel, we are all about transformation. We are all about becoming and emerging into the most expanded, conscious, awakened, beautiful version of ourselves. Perfect. So, tip number 1. I love this. Tip number 1, detox. That's where all of this produce comes in. Food cravings stem from the toxic, processed, chemically laden, addictive foods that we eat. Sugars, chips that have salt in them. Trust me, food makers are very sneaky and they're very clever. They infuse all of this highly addictive processed chemical junk into the foods that they sell. We eat the food, we become addicted to it, and then that's where the cravings come from. Step number 1 is eliminating all junk food. And when we can do that, we dramatically decrease our cravings for food. Number 2 is begin to infuse more whole food, plant-based nutrition into our diet. The more we can do that, the healthier we're going to be, and the more we eliminate the cravings. This food is not addictive. It's highly nutritious, but it is not addictive. If any of you have ever given up sugar for any amount of time, you'll realize after a couple days, oh my God, I'm not craving sugar anymore. Same thing with chips that have a lot of salts and chemicals in them. If you get rid of it, our body doesn't crave it. But the moment you take your first bite again, it triggers the cravings. Another wonderful way to detox is raw green juice cleanse. This is so powerful. When we fill our body with raw green juice, we're talking everything right here. Cilantro, kale, celery, ginger, apple, let's see what else, parsley, mint. When we fill our body with this, now we're detoxing and now we're healing the body. So I invite you, it can just be having a raw green juice and getting rid of the junk food, or you can go full tilt boogie and you can just go on a raw green juice cleanse for 3, 5, or 7 days. Trust me, that will really help with the cravings. And what happens as we begin eating like this, it becomes a lifestyle, which leads me to tip number 2. There's what I have discovered in working with clients over the years. There's 2 types of people. Those who live to eat and those who eat to live. And what I've noticed is that when we can move from living to eat to eating to live, that's when we can truly gain health and well-being in our life. Not to say we can't be passionate about food. There is a distinction. When I say live to eat, I'm talking about waking up in the morning and dreaming about muffins for breakfast, bacon and eggs, all this highly, highly addictive food. If we're dreaming about that and we're living to wake up in the morning and eat that kind of food, that's taking us down a path of destruction and poor health. Let's say you are passionate about food. You can become passionate about living foods. Now you're thinking about, how can I create lasagna with this? How can I create pastas with this? How can I create delicious smoothies with this? How can I make desserts with this? How can I make meals with whole food plant-based nutrition? That's a passion for food. That's different than living to eat. So if we can make the shift from living to eat to eating to live, what we're going to do is step on a path of health, wholeness, and well-being, and an incredible healthy lifestyle. One major key to doing that is switching our focus, which leads me to tip number 3. Get busy and change your focus. So let's say instead of being focused around junk food, what if we look at what are my passions? I'm going to give you guys an amazing story about this. I have a client who's incredible. I'm so proud of him. He's 6 feet tall. When I started working with him, he was nearly 300 pounds. Fast forward in our time of working together, he's 195 now. So he's literally lost over 100 pounds. But that's not even the best part. In our working together, I applied the tips and techniques I share with you guys here on my videos, and also all the techniques and tips that I share in my book. We applied these in his life. So we looked at every aspect of his life and we said, okay, so let's begin making changes. So we changed his relationship with food. We shifted him from eating just the standard American diet to a plant-based raw vegan diet. Then what we did was I looked at other aspects of his life. He's a healer, an extraordinary healer actually, and he also is a writer. So his whole life really was working on clients, going home, and doing his writing, and then going to sleep. Like literally once a week he'd go to a movie, and that was the extent of his fun. So I was like, no, we have to infuse balance and fun into your life. So we did it. What I did was I said, would you be open to doing, I kept seeing him dancing because it's social, it's a connection with other human beings. He gets to dance with women, which is really, really fun. It would awaken all these other aspects of his life. And I was like, are you open to that? And at first he's like, I don't know. He's kind of shy. So I said, well, let's just go to a class. He goes to his first dance class. It's a lot for him, but he keeps going because he's committed to changing his life for the better. Fast forward about a month and a half into us working together. Now, not only is he going to one dance class, he's going to class 3 times a week. And now, fast forward, we've been working together a little over a year. Fast forward, not only has he released over 100 pounds, he now has a beautiful social life. He goes out dancing 3 or 4 times a week. He has even more clients now because now people meet him out in social settings and they come to see him as well. He's just increased every other aspect of his life. He's going to the gym. And so literally his life is a 180-degree change from what it was when we first started working together. And that's what I want for all of you, if that's what you're looking for. Maybe you guys have, your life is firing on all cylinders except for 1 or 2 areas. Then you make the appropriate tweaks, that's good. But a lot of people, their lives are not balanced or completely fulfilling in a lot of different areas. So all that to say, as we make these changes, it enriches every aspect of our life. And our lives begin to become passionate, full of fun, full of joy, full of love, full of delight, full of fulfillment, just completely life enhancing. And that's when we're really living a beautiful, healthy lifestyle. Boom. And that's what applying these tips and techniques does. When we do the program together, the 7-day and the 7-week, this is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be working with you all holistically on every aspect of your life so that when you make these changes, your life is going to be so much better. Not just about diet and body, but in every aspect of your life. Good? And I can't wait. I'm so excited to share all this with you guys. So all that to say, when we begin to find our passions in life, and we begin to live our passions in life, what happens is our focus moves off of just food and what we're going to eat and onto every other aspect of our life. And it makes us not only more balanced, but it gives us a much more delicious and beautiful life and a healthier life. Good. The next tip is move. And so let's say you're like, okay, Dr. Elizabeth, I don't know what ways I'm passionate about exercising and moving my body. If you know you're passionate already, great. If you don't know, what I want you to do, number 1 is go on an adventure to discover what you're passionate about. And number 2, I want you to look at what you did as a child. What we did when we were left to our own devices, those things we gravitated towards are the things we're passionate about. Let's say you loved horseback riding. Let's say you loved going and playing basketball. For me, I love dancing. And I wasn't given the opportunity to dance as a child. My parents wanted me to play the piano. I so was not feeling playing the piano. So I was like, every opportunity, like we'd be in the grocery store and I'd hear music and I'd be like, I'd be dancing, I'd be moving my body, I'd be doing cartwheels down the aisles of the grocery store. I just loved moving my body in those ways. And my mother would be like, stop shaking your hips, stop that, go practice your piano. But it wasn't my passion, it wasn't my joy. But innately, I knew what was my joy. Even as a little girl, I dreamed about dancing. So I want you to take this question into your meditation. Ask yourself, really look back and reflect. What did I love doing as a child? In the Northern Hemisphere, where I know a lot of you live, it's now summertime. It stays late, especially a lot of you guys who are way up north, Sweden, Finland, all of you guys way up there. It's going to be light till very late at night for all of you. You can have a little bit of a light dinner around 6 or 7 in the evening or whenever you get home from work, and go out in the evening, go swim, go for a bike ride, go take your kids and play at the park, go play basketball, go play touch football, go play tennis, go dancing, go horseback riding. There's a plethora of things that you can do. Search your heart, search your soul, search your spirit, search back to reflect back to when you were a child. What did you love to do? And then pick at least one of those things this week and go and do them. I know I'm getting really passionate about this because I really want you guys to have this because it's such a gift. When you begin incorporating movement into your life, now what happens is that instead of being focused solely on food, just like a live to eat kind of person, now we're like, okay, I'm eating to live because my life is filled with passions and movement and exciting things in ways I love to exercise and move my body. Okay, so enough about movement, I think. Let's go ahead and keep going. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3. Oh, good, I'm almost done. God, I can talk, huh? Even for me, I talk a lot. It's because I'm so excited to see you guys, and it's because I'm so excited to share all this with you. There, we'll go like that so you guys can see. Let the bananas serve a dual purpose. Okay, the substitution game. This is huge. We're going to talk more about this in further videos, and we're going to talk more about this in my program. I actually talk about this for those of you who already have my book. First of all, if you've got my book, thank you so much. I'm honored. I'm thrilled, I'm delighted. I put my whole heart, soul, and spirit into the book, and to have you guys message me and tell me that you're reading it, and then to tell me that you're really enjoying it, it means the world to me. So thank you so much. Every time you guys message me, I'm like, oh my God, they like the book. I'm so happy. It's silly, but because, you know, it literally is my whole heart, soul, and spirit. It really means the world to me, that it is enhancing your life in some way. It was my intention in writing it, so thank you for letting me know. So all that to say, substitution game. Let's talk about that for a second. Let's say you have a sweet tooth or you have a craving for something sweet. Instead of getting a regular brownie, you know, those store-bought brownies that are in the packages, those are loaded with gluten, wheat, dairy, eggs, sugar, all the stuff that, number one, is processed, and it's loaded with stuff that causes food cravings. And then people are like, Dr. Elizabeth, why am I having food cravings? Because you're eating foods that is highly, highly, highly addictive. So instead of having one of those regular chocolate brownies, have a raw vegan chocolate brownie. I shared my raw vegan chocolate brownie recipe back in the fall. I'll put a link in the description box below, so if you haven't seen it, you guys can go and check it out. These chocolate brownies are so delicious, incredibly nutritious, will cause no food cravings, and will satisfy your sweet tooth beautifully. I think that's it, my beloveds. I think we're done. Put these tips and tools and habits and techniques into place. Message me and let me know how you guys do with it. Oh, and one more thing. I think I had mentioned to a lot of you that I was interviewed for a documentary film. It's my second documentary film with these beautiful filmmakers. I'm gonna give a shout out to Jennifer and to Laurent. And this movie is called On a Scale from 0 to 10. It's about chronic pain. Besides the documentary film, they've created a summit. They're launching the summit from May 30th to June 5th. And it's free. Completely free. You guys can go on that day and listen to each one of the speakers. I am being featured on there, as well as some other really, really wonderful speakers. And if you really, really enjoy it, besides the summit, which is free, they're offering the complete package if you'd like to purchase it as a whole, to own and to have the whole anthology. And you can go ahead, I'm going to put the link in the description box below. You guys can click on that and you can check it out and just see if it's of service to you. You guys can go take a look at that, and you can get that if you'd like. Perfect. All right, my beloveds, until next week, you guys know I love you. I love you to infinity and back. I love you for forever and back. And I appreciate you guys being here. I hope this video was in service to you. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how you're doing with everything. And I think that's it. So until next week, mwah, have a delicious, beautiful week. Put these tips into place, and happy skinny dipping in the Fountain of Youth. Mwah.